I would now like to introduce my mother, Diane Adams, who looks a little different this evening than she does on the screen. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Kristen, I think. I must say I've never experienced an introduction like this, and I'm hoping I don't again. Oh, so, November 2010 marks the 10-year anniversary in which Danielle was diagnosed. Many of you remember it well. I was in California, and I was on the phone with her father, Chris, and he was telling me that Danielle was really sick. And over the course of the next 24 hours, she became really lethargic, and Chris and his mother rushed her to the doctor, only to determine that she needed to go on the ambulance and be rushed to the hospital. Needless to say, these were the longest few hours of her life. You see, there are some parents who wait a moment too long, thinking that the onset of juvenile diabetes or type 1 diabetes is a virus or it's a flu, and their children don't make it. But we were fortunate. Danielle did make it. But that day changed our lives, not forever, but until there's a cure. So it has been quite a journey. I remember when Danielle was 5 years old, she went to the insulin pump. And I will never forget her running down the driveway that afternoon with this new attachment to her body, and she's running and trying to play, and she's holding the insulin pump. And that night, I heard her. I walked by the sofa, and she was laying there, and I heard her softly crying. And I went in there, and I said, Danielle, I said, what's wrong? And she said, you know, at 5 years old, she said, I just want to be free again, Mom. And I have to tell you, it was that moment that I thought, this family is going to put it in high gear and do everything possible to help her and the 3 million others in this country find a cure. So at that moment, everything did change for the positive. We got the courage for Danielle to go to diabetes camp. Now, mind you, there were very specific instructions to check her every 2 hours. The one thing I forgot to tell diabetes camp was about Danielle sleepwalking. But I think they figured it out about 3 a.m. one morning when Danielle was coming back from her stroll around the lake. I became the official chaperone for all of Danielle's overnight field trips. Now, what teenager doesn't love Mom tagging along? And we decided to go global. So Danielle met a little girl who was recently diagnosed in India, and she shared best practices for diabetes management over telepresence or over video conferencing. Now, I think her parents to this day still regret the best advice that Danielle says she gave her, which was she had to negotiate with her mom and dad every 6 months to get a new fashionable purse to put her diabetes supplies in. And then I remember Danielle became an honorary member of the Cisco New Graduate Program, so much so that they go to the bars together. So my daughter's 10 years old in the bar, rock band competition, raising money for juvenile diabetes. Anything for a cure, even at 10 years old. So you see, it's been quite a journey. And I've learned a few things. There are no coincidences in life. I do believe that God saved Danielle for a reason, so that our family could do everything possible to help her find a cure. The other thing that I'm clear about, you know, they say it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a community to raise a child with type 1 diabetes. So as I've reflected on this evening, or as I've thought about this evening for the last few months, one of the overwhelming emotions that I've had first is humility and then gratitude. And I would tell you humility because I know that so many of you in this room have done just as much as we have to help your children, your spouses, your significant others find a cure. And gratitude, I will tell you, for months, I have felt even more like the most special person in the world. our family as well, because we're surrounded by so many wonderful people. It is because of you that we're receiving this award tonight. Because of my family, because of Chris and his family, for Ken, who wants nothing more than a cure for diabetes, for all my Allscripts friends, the Cisco friends, and all the friends that have been on life's journey along the way, even the friends that are here tonight from childhood. So I want to say thank you to you. You see, Danielle, we knew she was going to be special when she was born. We named her. Her name is Cynthia Danielle Adams, and she's named after my cousin, who actually passed away at 32 from cancer, and her parents are here tonight. So our family, like many of yours, has known adversity. And one of my favorite guiding principles in life is that it's not about whether or not we face adversity, it's all in how we deal with it. And I thank my family for teaching us how to deal with it. And I would ask you to stand right now, please. So if the family can stand. Thank you. And you can stay standing. Sorry about that. And I just want to highlight first the grandmothers. So Grandma Adams, who's raised thousands of dollars over the years from her church for the walk team. And my mother, Grandma Kearney, who's the walk team manager, who has never gotten a t-shirt size wrong, so thank you. And then Pa Adams. Pa Adams passed away about a year ago, and he wanted nothing more than a cure for Danielle. He knew her blood sugars better than she did, and he will see this cure, only watching from above. And last but not least, Pa Kearney. So my father, he instilled in us the value, family always takes care of family. And he also instilled the value of humor, whether he meant to or not. So you can see where we get it from. And I remember well when Danielle was diagnosed, we were in the hospital, and the nurse came over to Dad because she wanted him to illustrate to Danielle that, this shot would be okay going forward, that, it's not going to be painful. Well, little did she know that my dad has a needle phobia. So the closer she gets to his stomach, he yells loud enough, literally, for two nurses to come running in the room. So needless to say, he didn't accomplish alleviating Danielle's concerns, but he sure was good for providing humor in a really hard time. So I'd ask you now I would like for everyone to stand up. So if this entire audience, it does take a community to raise a child with type 1 diabetes. And on behalf of everyone here with type 1 diabetes and others like them, I would like to say thank you. We are connected together. Our hearts are connected together for a cure forever. So I want to say thank you for that. And now I just want to talk for a minute, you can have a seat, about the dream for a cure. So Danielle was given a real gift when she participated. We were given a gift when she participated in the artificial pancreas trial at UVA. The last 24 hours of that trial were nothing short of a miracle. Danielle's on one hospital bed and I'm on the other, and as we lay there, so the odd thing about it, the one night we'd be able to sleep, we can't sleep at all because the technology's doing all the work. And Danielle's not having to check blood sugar, she's not having to count carbs, she's not having to do anything, she's not having to worry about the highs, the lows. And we look over there's a laptop in the windowsill of that hospital room. And there's a flat line indicating that her blood sugar levels are totally stable, and the technology's doing the work. Now, normally in a hospital, a flat line's not a really good thing, but I gotta tell you, in this case, it was the ultimate. And why was it the ultimate? And Danielle's probably not gonna be happy that I say this, but this past year was actually the hardest year that Danielle ever had. As a teenager, she just didn't want diabetes anymore. So as responsible as she had always been, she said, I just can't do this anymore. And of course, we all said, you have to. And then I thought about it. I stepped back and I thought, gosh, you know what, if I forget to wash or I don't feel like washing my face when I lay down at night, there are no real consequences to that. If Danielle doesn't check her blood sugar and she doesn't have her snack before she goes to bed, she can have a seizure and she may never wake up. So I had to step back and think about that, and I had to understand. But that artificial pancreas clinical trial, it changed all of that. Danielle was so re-energized. She had so much hope. Our little girl was back. To the title of the gala this evening is A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes. And from Cinderella. And Danielle has her own Prince Charming, who is none other than her older brother, Jordan. And Danielle, we have for you a gift that symbolizes our commitment to work harder than ever so that your dream for a cure and the dream of the others like you with type 1 diabetes can come true, that it will come true, just like in the fairy tale.
A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you will lose your heartache. Whatever you wish for, you keep. Have faith in your dreams, and someday your rainbow will come smiling through. No matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing, a dream that you wish will come true. Dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. In dreams you will lose your heartache. Whatever you wish for, you keep. Have faith in your dreams, and someday your rainbow will come smiling through. No matter how your heart is grieving, you keep on believing, a dream that you wish will come true. Come true.